May as well talk to you while I'm fiddling with my hair. This is directed at anybody, but Kylana especially, because you said a comment on my last video called Testosterone is for Men. And the reason I called it Testosterone is for Men because it was the first thing that came into my head. You know, it's most of the people in the world think that testosterone is a man's thing. And so I was joking with the title. And Kylana, you came in with you came in with your comments, and I've noticed that you are a bit miffed with a couple of people at the moment, and so because I know you so well, you know, I think it is important that we talk maybe on Skype, but because I'm such an open person and I don't need to have private conversations on Skype, I don't mind discussing my inner thoughts about you, Kylana, and about my testosterone or XXY condition situation. I took my injection yesterday, and yeah, I could cry still, because it's like the whole world, all the clouds, you know, the virtual clouds of grey just disappear. Because basically taking testosterone is like an antidepressant, so all the grey clouds, virtual grey clouds in the sky and social everything are gone. And I'm going to give you the best example for that. Again, I could cry on it because it's such a difference. And I cry for the people that are not diagnosed as being XXY and they don't know what's going on with them, you know. And I would cry. That's a sniffle from cold in the nose, by the way. I'm not actually totally crying, but I am emotional, and it's because it's such a it's a good day when you can feel the world being a supportive place, and also you know that your energy from within is beaming out goodness, like I believe nearly every XXY has. I mean, everybody has a good heart, but it's just how much support do they get to keep their good heart. So a lot of people lose heart, and they lose compassion, and you know, that the art of compassion. You know, we can choose to care or not to care, you know, and obviously some people choose to care. I've been also watching on YouTube a lot. There's been a lot of people talking about trolls and the haters of whatever, and people sticking up for each other, so that's great. Don't let the so-called trolls think that they have any power over us outspoken people. You must be joking me. But back to the testosterone point, and Kylana, your comments of like, yeah, make sure you stay on it this time now, and that you thought that I was on testosterone since last September. I want to talk about this in nitty gritty. I wonder will I get it in 7 minutes? Probably not. The bottom line is, Kylana, that I know my body, I know myself, and as much as I appreciate your support and comments, regardless of how they come across, it doesn't matter. I love people speaking their minds, and so continue to speak your mind. It's just that when you say something like, yeah, make sure you stay on it this time, you know, that's very in itself keeping me in a position of having to act my role of I look like a guy, so act like a guy. So make sure you stay on it. That comment I take as being like, well, what if I decide to be a transsexual at one point in my life? Should I stop taking testosterone, or should I take your advice and stay on it? See where that causes a few problems. You know, if I was to listen, like there's many human beings who are like sheep, you know, and it's not that they're stupid, but they are sheep, and you know, they haven't maybe learned to fend for themselves or look after themselves quite at this moment in their lives. You know, those people, if they listen to or read your comment, I'm sure those people would be like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right, thanks very much for the advice, and I will stay on the testosterone. But for me, I went off the testosterone on my own free will, and it was free will. I wanted to go off it. I wanted to know my adult self without testosterone. I wanted to understand myself in my life for the first 17 or 18 years of my life, of my existence. The building blocks of mental stability were fucked, excuse the language, in my young childhood, because of not being certain of what I was in relation to yes, chromosomes. Even though, Kailana, I mean, your last few videos have been very, for me, I've had to argue or disagree with you, and I said already that's why we need to talk, because I disagree with so many things you've said recently, and I put it down to, I think you're a bit miffed off at certain people, and so I just want to know your state of mind. That's what I mean. Like, so we can do Skype or we can do public like this. I want to know your state of mind. Can you truly say how you're feeling and what is pissing you off about other people, you know, and or the other organisations, so that we can actually, you know, get to the bottom of your emotions just for the moment? Because I do think personally, and now you've got your broken ankle, you know, your sprained ankle, whatever, I mean, you know, so of course you're going to be a bit more narky, and I do forgive narky people always. Christ, I hope they forgive me. But what is my point here? My point is that my testosterone treatment is in my own hands, and I trust myself with hearing my body and what my body needs, you know, and I've had an amazing life. For, like, this is all tears of joy. If I do actually start crying now, it's tears of joy, by the way, people, because I should pat myself in the back now. 3 years off of a drug that has helped my mental state of mind, you know, and I do look upon it as a drug, because I mean, I know everybody thinks of it as a drug, but you know, I'm kind of anti-drugs, of the pharmaceutical kind especially, and you know, so I look upon it as a drug because I was born technically with XXY chromosomes. Yes, I meant to mention the chromosome point earlier, but I was born with XXY chromosomes, and so therefore I don't think testosterone is necessarily for XXY people like myself. You know, estrogen could be the point. And that's why I titled the video "Testosterone is for Men," or whatever I said, you know, because it is bullshit that testosterone is for men, you know. And I actually want to just bring it a step further, as I always do, and you know, I know most people don't agree with me, but that's fine. You don't see it with my sunglasses on yet, but you might. I don't see men and women in the world, I see people. I really do. I mean, obviously, man, hello people, yeah, like, I see people and I go, oh yeah, breasts on that woman, and I go, facial hair on that man, on a level, yeah, but not completely, you know. I'm more, over the years I've been trying to condition my own self to not see people as being one sex or the other Western accepted sex. I say Western accepted sex because you see loads of videos on YouTube, well, maybe not loads, but enough videos on YouTube about 5 genders, 5 sexes, all that sort of stuff, you know, and all the different cultures and tribes that actually accept middle sex people like myself. So testosterone, I don't see, like, especially me, right, I take quite a small amount of testosterone, the smallest amount that I know that I'd say I'm on the smallest dose of testosterone over that 4-week period. I'd say I'm on the lower scale of all the XXYs who take testosterone or estrogen. I'd say I'm on the lower. And we'll find out now. Yeah, I'm going to stay on it now. We'll find out now how much better my brain works, you know, like with the audio processing thing, you know, the thing from the head to the mouth. Let's find out, and because I'll keep waffling, basically. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to see if I'm the same on or off testosterone. But it is a good day because oh yeah, let me tell you the last thing in the last minute and a half, even though I didn't even talk about the chromosome point, but I paid my rent today, as in I paid 1/3 of my rent today. I owe roughly 3 months, and so I paid. I won't even give you the amount because I don't want certain people who are observing and thinking to themselves, giving you know, you can't figure out your rent, 600 to 700 euro. Yes, these people that are still watching. Yes, I don't want to give them any hints on how much I'm in debt, but I went into my landlord's basically today, and with this certain amount of money, the third of it, and told them, and we were all smiles, and then I said to the boss, like, I had to talk to the boss, and I talked to the boss, and it was all smiles. I couldn't believe it, because I thought I was dead, like, in trouble. And the big boss who I've never spoken to, was just smiling and laughing with me. So it was really, really, really funny. I think as my theory would have been years ago, I think with that added extra layer of energy, of positive and all, then I think that's it. I think it's the fact that I got my injection yesterday. So leave it at that. Flatmate back. I'll go and talk to them now.